lines. And so this was a improved flow project and eligible for the use of those funds. And you don't want to just keep those funds, you want to make use of them. So we're just trying to finish out the housekeeping for that process.
So you told me the project has been done.
Yes, it is.
We need to pay the $37,000.
We have already paid. It'll either come out of the utility fund operating money, or it can come out of this reserve dollars, which you're supposed to make use of.
So you already paid the money?
We absolutely did.
But then why?
It's just a formality to, I wouldn't want to request that you do a resolution for more money than we would actually need. So till the project finishes, we don't exactly know how much we want in the resolution.
So now, is the project finished?
Yes, it is.
So now, it's been paid.
It's just a matter of being able to move the reserve money and not have used your operating funds in the utility fund.
And this money is being paid, just $37,000 is going to who?
Going back into your utility
Going
fund.
back into you, so you
Back
don't
into your utility operating fund.
So the group that's done this project, whoever done the project, they've gotten their money,
Yes,
and now you're asking for approval to move the money.
I'm doing the rest of the paperwork
Uh-huh.
to make use of the available, and there's more available reserve funds, but it's how you make use of it. We budgeted to use it, and we have to clean it up with a resolution authorizing moving it out of the reserve and back into the operating.
All right, so impact fees have accumulated $37,000,
Greater than that.
greater than that.
Greater than that. There's some reserve funds budgeted in the upcoming budget. I mean, you don't want to hold that money.
Right.
It's supposed to be used for improved, size lines, creating better flow, or new lines. And we have a little bit of both that we hope to do next year.
So now, how much money is left now after this $37,000?
I'm going to tell you it's probably over 100,000 for water and possibly 100,000 for sewer. I can email you the Excel from last year,
Okay.
but I don't keep it all this up in my head.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And resolution 2023-13 passes.
Thank you very much.
Session.
The next one is discussion of possible council action, resolution 2023-14, a resolution authorizing Swanee Parks and Recreation to submit an application for a FERDAP grant for Heritage Park and Gardens reimbursement of funds not to exceed $200,000. So once again, this is a grant that we can get, and we just need you to authorize us to get it. And Jason, you have anything you want to talk about?
If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer, but yeah, just a permission to apply.
And it's, Jason, this money is used for, it's for,
Yes, sir, it's a standard grant we use in the city and the county for recreation development. We'll renovate Heritage Park and Gardens, probably build some new pavilions out there, just spruce up the park.
Finish the building.
then finish the building, is that included?
I don't know if that would be included in this grant or not.
Now what about, is there a project going on over at the John Hill with the county? Doing the bathrooms and all that? Is that part of this money?
No, sir, that's a different grant.
That's a different
The
grant?
county is writing, yes, sir.
Okay.
Different pot of money.
So this grant does not, this $200,000 does not include, I think it's just got new equipment. That's not including that either, right?
At John Hill Park?
No, all
That
your
was just
regs,
completed.
for your playgrounds and all that equipment. This grant does not in,
It could be for new playground equipment, to renovate old equipment. So just at Heritage Park, that's what we're looking
so
for.
do, one more, council, one more, let me ask one more. So this money, have all our parks playground have been updated?
We're working
Oh,
through them. I
still
mean,
got
we just
some,
finished
right.
one at John Hale Park. We have 2 more for the city that will start soon, Azalea Park and Baker Park, Maynard Manor. You can only have 3 going at one time, so we have 2 already.
That last one you named, what?
Baker Park, where Mr. Campbell lives, it's called Maynard Manor subdivision, also known as that.
Those the other one. Okay, gotcha. I got it.
Azalea Park.
Okay.
Okay. What he's asked, and one of the questions that probably that the people don't want to know is, what are you doing about the other parks? Are you looking for recreational parks in the other areas of the district? Like I know when we talk about John Hill, it's in District 1, am I correct?
I believe
I
so.
think so. And
Yes.
then in District 2, what parks do we have in District 2?
Well, you have Douglas Park, it's
That's not-
county property, but it's in the city limits, yeah.
Right, but we really, it's not.
You have Azalea Park, Harold Heights, I think.
Yeah, we're talking about for recreation, you know, for children, for people to actually, a park that they could go to and take parts in. But the issue, straight up with you.
What
the issue
ideas
is-
do you have? Where are you going?
The issue
Help
is,
you get there.
the issue is you're talking about this money. Now, they're gonna wanna know, this grant, so I know you're working on more grants to, for the different parks.
Right now, we have a grant at Azalea Park
Mhm.
for $50,000 and Baker Park.
Mhm.
Those are the 2 we're working on for the city right now currently.
Right, and they would like to see a park over,
A new park?
yes. The city has property that we can do some parks.
So I'd be glad to sit down and talk to you or the
I know
council
you
about
will. I know
plans.
you will. Okay, we'll get together,
Okay.
because that's what they're questioning about, because if you'll.
New park in District 2.
New park, something besides the Douglas Center. Something besides the Douglas Center.
I hear you.
You hear me, yes.
I got a question for City. You through Ms. Council?
I'm through.
William.
I'm
The
through.
city manager, you said this money, this grant money we can apply and get, we can get this $200,000?
This is something that they apply for pretty much every year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, we've been very lucky to be able to continue to get it. So when it comes up every year, they apply for it.
And Jason has no difficulty in getting this?
I mean, there's no guarantees.
Right.
Typically, they're $50,000. The
Right.
state started funding the $200,000 projects again, so we're gonna make a bigger ask than what we have in the past
Okay.
and see if we can get that. Yes, sir. All right, thank you.
Mr. President, I'm finished.
Okay, we've heard the recommendations of staff so what's the wishes of council?
Make a motion that we approve resolution 2023-14 authorizing the 20 Parks and Rec to submit the application for the FERDAP grant.
So move.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion carries. Okay, that's the last item on the
I
agenda.
have a couple
Yes, sir.
more things.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sessions.
So I need to bring to y'all's attention something that's come up recently. As Ms. Joanne mentioned earlier, tap and impact fees pay a lot of what we do around here. And recently we've had a developer that's come to us and the tap and impact fee seemed pretty heavy to them. I know that right now all we expect is to get the tap and impact fee paid up front, get the permit to get things built. I'm thinking about trying to make it a little easier for development and to help out developers to try to maybe make a 2-payment system to try to let them pay half up front and then maybe defer, like in this situation, maybe after January 1st, the second payment, they could put on their taxes 2 years in a row, things like that. So I'm trying to get a little creative to help development. I know that people have done this in the past. You know, you did it in the past, you paid up front. And I know there's people sitting there who probably paid those permits and impact fees in the front before. But, you know, I'm trying to figure out a way to help growth and help some of these developers work things out. So I don't have it written up, but it's, I want to come to you and get your thoughts on maybe having a 2-payment deal. But also to remember in the contract that we'll have written up will be if this person that asks for this doesn't pay it all up front, let's just say they sell it quickly, the payment moves to the next owner. That'll be in the contract. So it'll always be taken care of. We will always get our money. And just in case somebody goes out of business or another owner buys it, whatever, they're gonna be, on the hook for the rest of it. So it'll transfer from owner to owner until it's completely paid. But I was thinking about a two-payment system. And this particular situation, it's a relatively new developer with, I guess, not a lot of capital and struggling a little bit, but they're going to be bringing 5 businesses to town. So there's 5 impacts that they're building right now. So 5 meters, 5 of everything. So it was a little bit more than they expected. So we had a discussion. I said I was going to bring it to the board tonight and see what your thoughts are. So I'm just leaving it up to you. If you want to stay the way we are, that's fine. But if you want to allow for a two-payment system with a special contract written, we can do that.
And my only concern is it's probably going to need a revision. The LDR, I don't know what the LDR is off the top of my head, but I could look at that the next day or two. But if we do have to have a revision to the LDR, that's probably going to take further council action to get that.
It's the city ordinance.
It's in the ordinance.
It's not LDR, I believe it's the ordinance.
I think it is an ordinance.
It's about the tax and fees are in the ordinance.
I'm of the opinion, I'm sorry. I'm of the opinion that, that we need to incentivize these businesses coming in and make it, appealing to them and cut them some breaks where we can and not, do damage to us. As long as there's safeguards built into the contract that we get that payment, I think it's a win-win, honestly. for what we're
I'll
trying
be
to
glad to look at the ordinance. One of the things I was thinking is if we have to revise it, probably want to put a lien provision in there where there's a consensual lien that's recorded in the public record. So if it is flipped, then the public's on notice, the new owner's on notice, whether they know it or not, they're on notice it was in the official records.
Is it something that probably should just be on the agenda for next council meeting then, or?
That'd be fine with me. I just wanted to let you know.
No, I'm in favor. I'm on your side, yes, sir.
I was just saying, if it's something that needs to be, do we need to do a special call meeting?
No, I think we'll be okay by the next meeting with the timing of everything. My concern is instead of abatements, because we've all seen Swanee County give abatements to certain companies and it bite them, okay? So we can abate all we want, but what happens to the people that have already done all this in the past? It's like a slap in the face to them. So instead of an abatement, it is an incentive to help out with cash flow. And I think this is about the best thing we can do is just make a couple of payments instead of just one all at once.
Mr. City Manager, my question to you, Mr. President, if you don't mind. How much, we talk about these impact fees,
Council President T.
Well,
C.
Well, technology. That's the future. Is there a certain dollar amount on that impact fee? Or this varies with different businesses or?
The particular impact fees are based on size of meters, size of the service going into the building. This particular business has got, there's 5 going to be businesses, and each one of them is right at $15,000 a piece. So it's about $75,000 total up front. That's what they have to pay.
And that's
So if we can make it in 2 payments, it'll help them out, and we'll still get it all done. And we'll have 5 more businesses in town. That's the way I look at it. I've got 5 businesses generating income. Maybe I can do something to help.
I watch you doing other concerns. I think about on the same thing. Now, I got several phone calls concerning, I guess, sewage on certain, it's coming by certain properties. I think it started on 2nd Street. I think it's on certain streets or whatever. And then those that they already have water, but they got their own septic, or that they want to tap in. Is that some kind of outrageous price they got to do that?
You want to explain that, Jail?
Talking about the
Septic sewer.
sewer system?
Yeah.
Come up to the mic.
make sure my computer don't talk to you. Hold on, let me turn this thing.
Before we get started, let me talk a little bit about sewer septic. Septic tanks are getting more expensive every year. And the way the new septic systems are being designed, they're gonna get to the point of where they're gonna be very hard to afford. Just the old, somebody got a single wide in a septic tank back in the day to get started. The septic tank is getting to where it's the cost of a good used vehicle now, not just
Right.
$800. So we have a system or a plan in place to move septic to sewer to where people can hook up within the city. And the other thing, by removing these septics out of the system, it helps the groundwater improve all day long, because all the septics are doing is affecting the groundwater.
So, hold on. So now removing that, now who's that owned? The property owner?
If you, in the letter, it explains that we've got a grant that pays for the hookup from the residents all the way to the city system. As long as they pay for it prior to construction starting, or have some type of payment plan in place prior to construction. Once construction started, then it'll be up to them to go from the city right away to their house. And we will remove or / crush whatever would be easier. The old system that's in place now.
We got a price on that?
It's all part of a grant that we received.
Well, I'm talking about towards the owner. What is the property owner? How much are they responsible for its dollar amount?
What was the?
The TAP is not a large amount, the impact is a little higher, but I believe, and this is all in a letter, and y'all can look back in your emails, because I think you can find it. But I think that it's like a total of $1,800. We have sent the letters out ahead of we don't even have a contractor yet, the plans aren't quite completed yet, but we have offered a payment plan of 12 months to anyone that wants to get in here and get signed up and get going, paying on it. As long as they're, well in place and going, as construction comes in, we'll get them connected. The grant will pay to have their septic tank abandoned, which can be a big fee. There's a permit from DEP to have that done, along with the cost of, collapsing it and filling it. They'll also, the grant will pay to make that connection from the roadway where the sewer line is, the main, all the way to the house and get them connected. And normally they would have to pay their own plumber to do that. So that is all included in the grant fees. Now, I gotta let you know as council that this grant and plan was probably born about 8 years ago and took that long to find funding. So DEP has funded this. This is your $3 million grant. It goes along 2nd Street, a portion, Evelyn, I'm sorry, it's Evelyn, part of Duval, and part of 105th. Those are your areas.
And
those?
Is Anna?
No, not Anna. Anna already has sewer.
They already have theirs.
Yes,
but
they have.
They have the
Yes,
impact.
let me talk to you about that later.
All right. Okay.
But that's the areas that will be involved. Once this could cost the city more money because the cost estimate